This guy is a wrecking machine, and he's hungry.
All of you chumps are gonna bow. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Money.
You're listening to The Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB. If you'd like to contact Mr. Credit, visit mrcredit.org.
Welcome to The Real Estate Debate, where we debate the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. Derek Evans here, your host, and judging the action today is a good friend of mine, Eric Levitt, is here with Leader One Financial. Eric, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Hey, man, it's great to have you. We have an awesome competition today. We have 2 returning champions, 1 multi-champion, and 2 newcomers.
Oh, see? There you go. Well, we root for the underdogs this time.
Well, I was just going to ask you that. It's your first time judging the program.
So I'm kind of partial to the new guys.
You are? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, so champs, there you go. You're going to have to earn your trophies today. It's always hard to win this show. And, of course, we try to provide as much quality real estate content as possible. You can watch all the past episodes at therealestatedebate.com. Eric, before we introduce our contestants today, I wanted to talk about the story that I saw on 247wallstreet.com. Mm-hmm. Now, basically said that 35% of homeowners surveyed do not know their mortgage rate. The reason I was looking for this information is because we continue to see tons and tons of applications, tons and tons of transactions taking place in the mortgage industry, even though there's a diminishing inventory and purchase transactions don't seem to be having the same volume as the increase in total overall transactions. So in other words, it seems like there's a lot of refinance activity.
True.
People would say, well, isn't refinancing done? I mean, haven't everyone refied by now? This particular survey said that 35% of homeowners do not know their mortgage rate. Do you feel that's realistic?
In fact, I think it's low. I think that more people don't know what their interest rate is. In fact, I would bet you that the 65% that say they do know are wrong. More than likely, if you didn't take a mortgage out in the past year and a half or 2 years, you don't know what your interest rate is. That's been my experience. Most people I talk to ask them what they pay. They go, I don't know. And they have to go find their documents. And a lot of lenders don't put the interest rate on the statement, so they don't know to look for refinancing. I think it's like a servicer trick to keep the loans on the books.
That's actually
they don't make it real obvious what the rate is.
That's a good point. I always encourage people to go look this stuff up because most people know their payment, but they don't necessarily know the interest rate.
But if you have a good mortgage guy, they're calling you every time you can save money. They're going to call you and talk to you about what you have and what you should have. And sometimes it makes no sense to refinance, and sometimes it does, but you should be getting a phone call or an email at the very minimum from your loan guy at least 2 or 3 times a year.
Yep, and that's the type of service that Eric Levitt provides at Leader One Financial. You can call him at 760-715-4300. Check on your interest rate. Give Eric a call. See if you can save yourself some money. Apparently, there are a lot of people out there who can save money and don't even realize it. 760-715-4300. Eric, thanks for being here to judge today's action.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me.
Time to meet our contestants for the day. In the 1 seat, Michael Gaddis is here, 2-time real estate debate champion with michaelgaddis.com. Michael, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right, man?
I'm doing all right today.
All right, good. Now, you always come very well prepared. Do you feel good about your chances today?
Well, I do. I think I'm just as prepared as probably everyone else as I see them sifting through their notes. They're intimidating me a little bit over here, so I'm like, oh, no.
Well, I think that's part of the game. You got to kind of get used to that. And speaking of, Jeff Campbell from Jeff Campbell & Associates, San Diego Homebuys.net, he's very good at that, aren't you, Jeff?
What am I good at?
Intimidating the other contestants.
No, my goal is to intimidate the host, the radio show host. No, these are my compadres. I'm trying to sell their properties out there in the marketplace. So I want to be their best friend.
Well, today you have a chance to not only make some friends, but also become one of very few multi-champions in the history of the real estate debate. How do you feel about your chances today?
Well, my chances are they're exceptional.
Yeah?
Oh, my gosh. They're so high. I don't know that there's a number for it.
All right. Oozing with confidence. He doesn't call that intimidation. I might. But I appreciate you being here, Jeff, on short notice. Thanks a lot, man. Also, we have 2 newcomers today. Our first one in the 3 seat is Glenn Douye with Chula Vista Homes for Sale.house. Glenn, how you doing, sir?
Doing great. Glad to be here, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, so it's your first time on the show. It's been a very, very, very long time since the first show we ever did, since a first-timer has won the program. Today, are you here today to just kind of get a feel for it, or did you come in here today to take the trophy home?
I'm going to win. I'm just going to throw it out there right now. These notes are rock solid.
Okay, so you like the topics today.
Oh, yeah.
He feels good. All right, good luck to you, sir.
It's in the bag.
I like it. Another first timer on the show today, the 4 seat, Jarrett Pugh is here from the Ruth Pugh Group. RuthPugh.com. Jared, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Now, you guys have a really cool event coming up, don't you, for the Dallas Pugh Foundation?
Absolutely. Tomorrow, June 5th, marks 20 years since I lost my little brother. And tomorrow we're celebrating his birthday. And we fulfilled our commitment of the $1 million pledge that we made to the YMCA just 7 years ago. So it's a big day for us.
Yeah, and that's such a cool thing that you guys have done with the YMCA. I mean, $1 million that you've raised for them. I know I've donated. I know a lot of people probably listen to this program have donated. They've heard about it on here.
Yeah.
Dallas Pugh Foundation was a really cool thing that you guys have done. And
Thank you very much.
We support your efforts in that.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Sincerely appreciate it.
No question. And you'll continue to get our support for sure.
Thank you.
All right, Jared, thanks for being here. It's time to start Rapid Fire.
Let's go around the table for Rapid Fire.
I'm going to give you to the count of 10 to get your ugly, yellow, no good keister off my property before I pump your guts full of lead.
Keep it short and keep it on point.
1, 2, 10.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
All right. Michael Gaddis, you're up first. Today's rapid fire topic is things a seller should do right now if their home has not sold yet this spring. Be prepared with a lot of answers as this can go around the table several times. This stems from the concept of a lot of homes that are still on the market that were put on the market at the beginning of spring. They're still on the market. What should the sellers do, Michael?
Well, considering we had a pretty hot spring, I think that sellers need to really take some time to reevaluate what's going on. So I think the first thing you need to do is to kind of determine whether the reason you haven't sold is because you're not getting any showings at all, or because you're getting showings and it's just not going into contract.
Okay, so first thing you have to do is check showings.
Number of showings. See if you're getting activity. If you're not getting any activity, then that takes you off in a different direction.
Something's got to change. Jeff Campbell.
You have to make a change. That's number one, and it's going to be condition and it's going to be marketing. Under condition, you have to look at how does that home look from the curb. Curb appeal is more important than ever. Any room on the inside of the home. Are you Barry White in your waterbed with shag carpeting and you're back in the 70s? Or do you need to bring some contemporary flavor to it? And then marketing. You got to look at price. You need probably to make a change in price. 95% of my price changes are lower, 5% or above, and going up. And then finally, terms. Change your terms. If you aren't offering FHA VA, it's easier now than ever to get people into properties like that.
Sounds good. Glenn?
Yeah, going to what these guys said, I think you need to retool your whole marketing package because it was a hot spring, and if you're not getting any viewings, something's wrong.
Okay.
Right? So you should be getting boatloads of people through there. And if you're not, change your showing schedule. Make it easy for people. A lot of times we're out there, clients come to you, hey, I saw this on my phone. Let's go see it right now. And if you have to call for a 24-hour appointment, you just lost a buyer.
Okay. So you need to be more flexible with your showing schedule. I like it. Jared?
You clearly have the wrong agent. So you need to get the right agent in there. We'd be happy to take that listing. And price reduction out of the gate, if it's not being sold right now in today's market, there's something wrong with that price.
Okay. You said it's all about price. I totally get it. Michael Gaddis, back to you.
Look, everyone keeps saying price reduction, but that's the easy answer that everybody could throw down there. Lower the price. I think what you need to do is reevaluate and see whether your listing agent really told you the correct market price in the first place. And maybe if you're priced correctly, instead of reducing your purchase price, your asking price, why don't you up your incentive to the buyer's broker? Give them a 3.5% or 4% incentive to sell. I tell you what, people see that. You'll end up saving more money by doing that than you will by dropping it down.
That's a really good, that's bonus points right there. Increase the offering to the buyer's agent on your home. Maybe you could up at 1.5%. That wouldn't be a huge amount to give, but much less than a price reduction and create the incentive for people to sell. Really, really good stuff from Michael Gaddis. Jeff Campbell.
Not enough people are using video. Let's get into the new technology age here. As a matter of fact, a minority of the agents are using video. So blow that out of the water. Boy, you take a great high-quality video of a properly staged home. Sometimes you can even get more for a particular model if it is promoted right and digitally and in the technology age.
Okay, makes sense to me. Glenn?
Yeah, I love the video concept. I just heard a stat that 30% of people are starting to look for homes on YouTube. So video is
that right?
Vitally important these days.
Great stat.
Something we love to do. We have fun with it. We do little MTV video cribs of all our new listings and stuff. So we just have a blast with we put it out everywhere. But one thing, going back to Michael, I think incentives are a good idea. If you have a bunch of feedback from people and they're saying, your carpet's horrible, give them a credit for the carpet. Take that objective away before they even walk in the door.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good one. Jared.
Gosh, these are all great. It's, I forgot that we're in a debate. I'd just like to agree with everybody. But I can tell now that you have to fight for the seat. So I would definitely say mega open house. We try to drive as much traffic through our open house as possible to create a little bit of a buying frenzy to show that house is definitely on the want list for multiple people.
Okay. And I wonder about that. And I'll just kind of throw a question out in the air real quick for everybody, kind of off topic. But if you've already had an open house, how many open houses can you have? Can you have a mega open house after there have already been a few open houses? Or do you lose that opportunity to grab everyone? Do you only have one shot with the open house?
No, you listen, you don't close the grocery store ever, all right? You always have it open. You get people coming in to buy your product, all right? Nobody's going to buy the home just off the internet. You've got to get in there, smell it, see it, touch it, feel it, taste it.
Okay.
But look, I mean, the open houses are somewhat overrated as well. I mean, we all agree, and this is our secret. We use that open house to help market ourselves. What a person needs, they need somebody who's aggressive. They need someone who's not just going to put on the MLS and sit in an open house twiddling their thumbs thinking someone's going to come in. They need someone who's going to be on the ground, who's going to go knock on doors, who's going to every neighbor know. They need to be someone who's going to be online, putting everything on SEO, making sure it's all over the internet. You need a super aggressive agent instead of just sitting there waiting for stuff to happen.
Okay. Then, Jared.
Nope, there's the flag.
I have to disallow it. Hold on a second. Glenn, Jared, do you guys want to comment on that before we wrap up?
No.
No? Good to go?
One thing I would just throw out there, just closing this out, is don't be afraid to put market time back down to 0 if you can.
Okay.
That way you have more impact with the open house and be ultra aggressive knocking doors. It's great to meet the neighbors. Hey, come to the open house.
Yeah,
have friends move in the neighborhood.
Okay, great stuff. Appreciate the off-topic commentary as well. I thought that was just relevant for what we were discussing. Coming up, it's time for Hot or Not So Hot. Find out if your area in San Diego is hot where you live or not so hot. We'll make you smarter than everyone else. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here. You're listening to the Real Estate Debate. We're debating the hottest topics in San Diego real estate. It's time for Hot or Not So Hot. Before we get to that, I'd like to check in with our judge today, Eric Lovett with Leader One Financial. Eric, what do the scores look like through the first segment?
Well, the Michael Gaddis is running away with it right now. Really? He had a huge first segment.
Okay.
He's up 10. He's got 10 points.
Wow.
Jeff is close behind, only 5 points, though, but he's leading the rest of the pack. Glenn and Jarrett both have 4.
Okay.
Some of the things I liked about Michael's answers, he's very aggressive. He came with the out-of-the-box, pay some extra cash to the other agent. It's I like the out-of-the-box thinking.
Okay.
And so
very, very cool.
Got extra points for that.
Okay, I agree. Michael Gaddis with a big lead now through the first segment. It's time for Hot or Not So Hot.
Time now for Hot or Not So Hot. So hot right now. Let's find out if your neighborhood is heating up.
It's hot.
Or if your district is on the decline.
I am completely miserable, San Diego.
All right. Jeff Campbell, you're up first. You got a hot or not so hot market for us today?
I have a hot market. Let's look at the whole market. According to Sandicor, the median price for homes right now is $465,000 across the board. It's hot off the press. It's fresh info. The area that I want to talk about that's hot is El Cajon. Well, it's more than just baking hot. The marketplace is hot. We have 3 zip codes supporting several high schools, have a nearby hospital, we have employment centers, we have airport transportation, and we have a median price of $415,000. So what I'm talking here is I'm talking affordability.
Okay.
All right. So affordability, we have 123 properties, single-family properties, currently for sale under the 465 median price for all of San Diego County. So plenty of inventory to choose from. It's affordable. We can get more veterans and FHA-type transactions in there. And affordability is one of the biggest problems when we talk about real estate.
No question.
And for that reason, I have to say that El Cajon is the hot area in San Diego County.
Okay, wow. Yeah, I've been waiting for someone to say something about El Cajon for a while because I noticed the same thing. Very affordable. We get a lot of bang for buck, and still very central. Not super East County. So for people who might even work on the coast or even north, El Cajon's not too far of a commute. So I've been waiting for someone to bring that up. Thank you, Jeff. Glenn Duye, you're up.
Yeah, so I'm the Chula Vista Homesfield house guy, right? So I have to give like a South Bay community, right? So that's what I did. I'm not going to disappoint. There's a little complex called Alicante down there in San Miguel Ranch. Last year, towards the end of the year, selling for $300K, right? Out of the blue, one hits the market, $349, super upgraded. Well, since April, that place has gone up about $50,000. Unbelievable. There's 6 pendings in the community, and a new one just hit, and they're pushing $399.
Wow.
It's just blowing up.
Now, are those attached houses or are those detached houses?
No, yeah, they're attached houses.
Okay,
so
like
they're townhomes.
Okay.
Yep, they're 3-2s, 1,500-1,600 square feet, 2-car garage. Feels just like a home, big backyard, but they're basically twin homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And what's the name of that community again?
Alicante.
Alicante.
In San Miguel Ranch.
San Miguel Ranch.
So
all right.
Super great area.
Hot market, prices are up.
Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about that is you go down the road a little bit in the Chula Vista, and that market's undervalued for stuff you find in Eastlake. So that's fueling the hot market over there.
Okay, so get it at the precipice, I guess.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Glenn. Appreciate it. Jarrett.
Yes.
Hot market, not so hot market. What do you think?
Hot market. We've actually just had our banner month for the year, so we've been feeling a lot of upswing in several different markets. But I got to tell you, Barrio Logan's probably one of the hottest markets that we've been in. We're not only investing there, but we've got a serious amount of inventory that's coming on the market. We know about the permits that are being pulled, the millennials, the live, work, play generation that's coming into tow there, and the location is just stellar. So it's one of the fastest growing markets in the nation.
Now, you said something there I want to elaborate on. You said you know about the permits that are being pulled.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean?
That we're just tracking every sub-development within San Diego on what's coming, so we can kind of see what's going to happen around that area, because when there's growth, there's money to spend, and people are going to want to live where they work, and with that, we're keeping a close eye on that.
Okay, so you say at Barrio Logan, there's permits being pulled, so people are going to be doing construction there.
New construction.
Newer stuff is coming.
Office, industrial, and the location is just stellar. It's one of the last underdeveloped communities within San Diego, so it's going to have a huge upswing over the next 10 years.
And it's just east of downtown San Diego. I mean, it's right there, walking distance, really.
Stellar location.
Okay, yeah, really good one. I like that one. Michael Gaddis, did they take yours?
No, they didn't. Thank God. Thank God. I didn't have a backup. No, whenever I look for this, one of the things I do is I look at statistics. So what I do is I pull zip codes, and I try to see what the median days on market is for active, pending, and sold listings since January 1st for almost every zip code in the county. So I go through and spend a lot of time researching this. And what I came up with was Oceanside 92056. And what I did is I determined, when I looked at it, there are currently 62 active listings in Oceanside. The median days on market is 19 days for that. They're selling at $257 a square foot with a median list price of $481,000. There are 93 pending, 14 median days on market, 14 days. Median list price per square foot, $256. Median list price, $499 right now. Sold since January 1st, 200. Only 20 days on market. Median list price per square foot is $254. Sold median sold price $475. They're selling at 99% of price versus list price. And so when I look at this and I see these statistics, it's telling me that things are not staying on the market long. They're moving really quickly. And I'll tell you something. Based upon my personal experience, I have 3 buyers trying to find homes in this zip code, and I'm running into multiple buyer situations every single time. No matter what house, it's like 10 people are ahead of me. I'm like, it just came on 5 minutes ago. Where are you guys coming from? So it's super hot.
So 20 days for average days on market for everything that's sold up until today.
From January 1st to today, only 20 days. Now, I did find some other markets that had 19 days. However, their active listings were sitting on the market now for like 29, 30, 40 days. So it shows me that market is starting to slow down a little bit. So when I analyzed all the numbers, it came out that this one had the best of all 3.
Okay. Wow. I tell you that what's interesting about Oceanside, where could there be more potential than Oceanside? You know what I mean? As far as if you're looking for potential in long term, it's right midway between here and Orange County, which is sweet because there are a lot of people in Orange County who can't necessarily afford Orange County. You know, and Oceanside's not that bad of a commute. It's an ocean community, which is great. And you also have, it's built out. You've got everything you need there. So I've actually been looking for a little, condo in Oceanside for quite some time, and it's just run away from me. It's one of those things where, I needed to pull the trigger a couple years ago, and it just ran away from me. To the point where if you're looking for like a 2-bedroom, condo that is anywhere near the water, has a glimpse of the ocean, it's above 500 now, which still sounds cheap when I say it out loud, but these things were in the threes a couple years ago. So I can definitely attest to Oceanside being a very, very hot market. Does anyone have an opinion on the Del Mar marketplace in here? Anyone tracking Del Mar? Nothing on Del Mar?
Love it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I pulled the statistics last night, and it wasn't showing. I think the median days on market was like 48 days for active listings, so it's not moving really quickly.
It's been slow, and it's one of those eerie things because I live there. So when you see, it's like a ghost town. I mean, the signs, the yard signs for sale, they've just been up. They're not going anywhere. And so for me, I kind of look at that like, does that mean that Del Mar is changing? Because Carmel Valley, its next door neighbor, which was always kind of the little brother, or even the stepchild of Del Mar, it almost seems like that's flip-flopped. Carmel Valley's on fire. Del Mar is getting cold or is cooling off or something. I don't know. It's really weird. I'm not sure what's going on there, but something funky is happening in Del Mar. That's all I can say. And if you're trying to sell a house on Del Mar Heights Road, good luck to you. I mean, I don't know what I don't know what you're gonna do, to get someone to buy. It's like a highway now, Del Mar Heights Road.
Offer the brokers 4%.
That's it. Sold. You may have to go higher than that because it looks like they've tried everything. All right, coming up, my favorite segment of the show: agree or disagree. This is really interesting because a gentleman who is interviewed by the UT San Diego on a regular basis made a pretty startling statement in this interview with the San Diego Union Tribune, where he talks about essentially how many units have been sold and that we are looking like the bubble. He says it's starting to line up like the bubble. I'll read you the exact quote when we come back, when we play Agree or Disagree right here on the Real Estate Debate. We'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else. Stick around.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. Thank you for hanging out with us on your Sunday afternoon. Mr. Credit here. Real estate debate's going on. We're debating the hottest topics in San Diego real estate, making you smarter than everyone else, all guaranteed. Judging today's action, my good buddy Eric Levitt is here with Leader One Financial. Eric, how do we look halfway through the debate today?
Well, halfway through, all stays the same. Michael still leading the way. Him and Jeff kind of wrapped up tied this last segment.
Okay.
I love the selling of the two areas. I'm a huge fan of El Cajon and Oceanside. I do a lot of business in Oceanside, and I like the way you guys are selling the dream, so to speak. I love both areas for FHA and VA loans too. You guys are right on the money. I think you're spot on.
Cool. So how many points does Michael have?
He's 13.
13 total. Jeff has
8.
8 total. Glenn?
He has 6 total.
6 and Jared.
7 for Jared.
Okay. So still anyone's match, even though Michael has a pretty decent lead as we head into Agree or Disagree. This is the segment where things
even up quite
things
a bit.
can really get crazy, and especially with this particular topic. Now, usually the Agree or Disagree statement comes from me directly. I did not have to come up with a devil's advocate statement today because we were able to read this quote from the San Diego Union Tribune. Home sales in San Diego County surpassed 4,000 units in April, which is the most since 2013. According to Martaza Baksamusa, the Director of Planning and Development for the Family Housing Corporation of San Diego, this is the guy that they interview all the time in the Union Tribune. He said, home sales figures only tell part of the story about the current housing market. The unaffordability of the current stock seems eerily similar to the bubble that formed a decade ago. Now, he goes on to continue that conversation and to provide supporting evidence. I want to ask our contestants today if you agree or disagree with this statement. We are starting with Glenn.
I generally disagree with this statement, although I will say there is a little bit of a bubble forming on entry-level housing. Because look at all the areas we just outlined. You know what I mean? A little part of Alicante, Barrio, maybe El Cajon. So, yeah, there's a lot of demand for that. Interest rates are low. It's entry-level housing, so we're seeing that kick up a lot. But your people, that 5 and up, 7, 8 range, it's very stable.
Okay.
So it's not like our entire market is this gigantic bubble, and we're going to crash back to earth. I just don't see that happening.
Okay, so you disagree.
Disagree.
Okay. Jared, agree or disagree with Murtaza Baksamusa?
You know what? I agree because prices are shooting through the roof. We follow the trends of San Francisco. It seems like that if you see what's going on up there right now, the floorboard where 2006 prices hit, they shot right through that, and they're still tracking forward. So I see us continuing to track forward, and you can't really get caught up in the news because if you do, you won't get out there and sell and do the best for your clients. So we just get up there and just go kick butt for our clients every day and do the best we can to get their house sold or finding them the right house. It's a great market for both buyers and sellers right now.
Okay, so it sounds like you disagree with the statement from Murtaza.
Yes, correct. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. I just want to make sure I know where you stand.
Yeah.
That's all right. So no one agrees with him so far. Michael Gaddis, do you agree with Murtaza Baksamusa, who says that the unaffordability of the current stock seems eerily similar to the bubble that formed a decade ago?
I disagree. First of all, I think the people who responded to him in the panel in that article, I don't think any of them really answered the question as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
No, it wasn't good responses. But while I am concerned about the tenuous nature of qualifying, I mean, Eric would be a better person to respond about this. But how are people qualifying for these loans? Well, back in 10 years ago, they were getting stated income loans. They were getting 2 and 3 year interest-only loans that were converting over to high margin loans with a high index. So we were setting ourselves up for a disaster back then, but now they're full doc. I mean, people are, most of the people are bringing it in full documentation. So, they're doing full underwriting on these people. There are very few 100% financings that are out there. VA and maybe a credit union or two has some crazy thing that we talked about before. But I mean, in general, people are qualifying for these loans. Now, with that being said, is it tenuous? Yeah, it's tenuous because these people are basically qualifying to buy mainly, I would imagine, on 2 incomes. Most people are qualifying because they have a household of 2 or more people. They're using both of their incomes to qualify. So if one person gets sick or there's a layoff or something like that, it could cause some mini problems. But overall, I think comparing what happened 10 years ago with the neg-ams and all the crazy loan products they were putting out to today, there's no way that we're anywhere near a disaster like that.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, it is definitely a different situation, and he does, quote, use the word eerily similar to the bubble that formed a decade ago. Jeff Campbell, do you agree or disagree with Murtaza?
I vehemently disagree. I got to tell you that the response from the people on this there's a lot of glad handing. It's, yes, I'm a salesman and everything's bright and buy now and always do it. And you got that kind of whitewash response from these people. Here's the reason, however, that there's hope and there's a bright light is right now we're at a low. We're at these statistics just came out, 5.6% unemployment. Remember, it was 10.5% in 2010, and we're at 5.6%. Our permits, our new building permits, we're right now 14,900 is the projected for year end, and that's the highest since 2005. So we've got greater building, lower unemployment, and we're here selling sunshine in San Diego. There, not only is there not a bubble, but the bubble that they referred to was potential underwater loans, and that's a completely different bubble that they're talking about when the short sales came about, and so on and so forth. And there was a big jump in this article to try to say that a bubble similar to there is now existing in affordability or lack of affordability. So the article was written poorly, and they pulled people in that I don't think addressed the article at all.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Unfortunately, this happens, but. This particular guy is the one guy that they go to all the time. So whatever his credentials are, I don't know.
Well, I mean, Nancy Reagan went to an astrologist. That doesn't make it good or right. So, you could go to the same dude all the time, and that's not going to make it a true story.
No, and I don't know if it's true, and I don't know if he's saying. I don't think he said anything that this is definitely going to be the case. But what I think was interesting about what he said was that he said this does look eerily similar, and here are some other things that look similar about it. But I didn't feel a doom and gloom pitch in the article. But I also I thought that there could have been some more well thought out responses by the people who are on the panel, unfortunately. So, Jeff, appreciate your commentary. All right. So everyone's had a chance to go here on agree or disagree. I'm going to go ahead and just throw my 2 cents out there. When you talk about a bubble forming, the assumption that you're making is that there's a pop that's coming, and when that pop happens, the what hits the fan and goes everywhere. That I don't think is going to happen. It's just a completely different situation. If you were to recall in the last bubble, people could not even, if you had a rental property, you couldn't rent it out. I mean, not only could you not rent it out for what the mortgage payment was, you couldn't rent it out. No one was renting. The rental market was dead because everyone was buying a house. Today, go look up rentals in your area. Go look and see what it costs to rent the house that you live in right now.
You can buy a property in my hot area, El Cajon, for the same price that you can rent it for even 15% down.
Yeah.
And if you structure it right, you can borrow, depending on the right loan, you can borrow part of your down, and it makes so much sense. And then after tax savings, there is no bubble out there. There is unaffordability throughout the state of California, but you know what? Then I think that you have to buy within your means and move into an area within your means.
Remember, affordability is something that is subjective to the extent that it's based on what? A comparison to something else. I mean, you can't just say it's affordable or unaffordable based on one particular variable. You have to look at, well, what are the alternatives? If all of us in here decide to sell the shirts off our back for $50 and somebody needs a shirt, then they're going to have no choice but to pay $50 because they need a shirt. But if someone in here is like, I'll sell mine for $5, then that's a different story. So you have to have something to compare it to. And what you compare it to, either you're buying or renting, or you're living on the street. Those are your 3 options. So if you look at renting, in this particular market, rents are way up. And that supports the real estate market. I don't think people realize that. And we can talk about the loans for sure and how that makes the market less fragile. It makes it less fragile because people have money down. That's the most important thing. They have skin in the game. Back then, people, 100% down. No skin in the game. It's easy to walk away. Hey, it's a non-recourse state. Michael knows, he's an attorney. Non-recourse state. You buy a house, doesn't matter whether it's a rental property or not. You buy a house, purchase money loan, no non-recourse. So it's like, all right, well, if you put money into it, now you're more apt to stick with it.
We were built on a house of cards last time. 100% stated income loans. They were converting. I mean, it was when that bubble burst, disaster happened. But this is different. I mean, as Eric can attest, most of the people do full doc loans now. Money, just like you mentioned, they put money down. It's not like it was before at all. So using the quantifier eerily in that, it's ridiculous. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
I would agree that it's not. You can't really say it. Now, could you say the market's high? That we might be at a high point in the market, and we might see it soften in the winter, or we might see some things change. I think you could say that, but to say that it's eerily similar is off base. So unfortunately, I also disagree with Murtaza Baksamusa in this particular article through the San Diego Union Tribune. All right, coming up, it's time for Listing of the Week. You're going to find out the hottest properties for sale here in San Diego coming up, and we will crown a champion. It's time for the win right here on the Real Estate Debate. Stick around. We'll continue to make you smarter than everyone else.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Debate with Mr. Credit on AM 760 KFMB.
All right, welcome back. It is that time for us to crown a champion. We're going to have Listing of the Week. Before we do that and tally things up, of course, Listing of the Week, this is the most interesting segment as far as scoring is concerned, because in this segment, our judge, Eric Levitt, with Leader One Financial, is going to judge and has to give out a total of 10 points, no more, no less, and has to divvy them up amongst the contestants so that we get a total of 10. So if you have a good pitch of your property, you can make up a lot of ground here. Let's see who needs to make up ground first, though, Eric. What are the scores so far?
Well, the 2 guys that need to make up the ground are the new guys. I think you kind of warned everybody coming in that this is difficult to win your rookie shot. And now I understand why, because these guys came to play, and both Michael and Jeff got extra points this last segment for participation, for some extra added aggressiveness in the debate. So Michael's leading with 17, Jeff 12, Glenn 8, and Jarrett 9.
Okay, so still technically, based on the amount of points that are left, it is still anyone's game. Anyone can win this. It's going to be based on the pitch. It's time for Listing of the Week.
Time now for the listing of the week.
Oh my God, look at this, you guys. I'm going to start the bidding for this $8 billion.
Here's your chance to pitch us your most prized property.
Go ahead, make my day.
No, I got one.
All right.
Shooting from the hip here, dude.
Time for listing of the week. Michael Gaddis will be starting with you. Pitch your favorite listing and do your best.
Well, I'm going to take us back to Oceanside.
All right.
Not the zip code I was talking about earlier. I'm going to take us to a different zip code, but I'm going to take us to a very special community that exists in 92057. It's called Williams Ranch. The property in question is 4644 Allende Avenue. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,020 square foot home sitting on a 1/4 of an acre of flat usable land. This house is special for a couple reasons. One, it's special because of its backyard. Its backyard is so large, it's like an English garden back there. I mean, it is. If you have small children and you're looking for a park-like setting, this house is for you. Literally, when you walk in, you'll say, "Oh, this house is nice." You walk, as soon as you see the backyard, you're in love. You want to sign a contract right there. It is that amazing. The other thing that's really nice about this community is that it was developed back in 1992 when nobody thought anybody was going to build up there. So the developer didn't start to cram all kinds of houses there. So the houses have really wide spaces between each other, and they have, big backyards, wide streets. It's an amazing family-orientated community. Schools are within walking distance, and the house itself is really nice as well. It's got new garage doors. We just painted new granite countertops. But let me tell you how much I love this community. I love this community so much that in 2002, I bought my first house in this community, just 2 doors down from this house. So I loved it because I was competing against a new housing development, a KB Homes. And I went and saw the KB Homes development where they were squeezing 50,000 houses into like half an acre. And then I said, you know what? I love this community. This house might be a little bit older. I said, but I'm going to tell you something. Just the feel I get in this house when I'm in my backyard, and I'm from the Midwest originally, and this development feels like a Midwestern development where land isn't such a premium. It's an amazing place to live, and it would be an amazing place to raise your children. I know because I did it.
Michael. This is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, over 2,000 square feet on a 1/4 acre, Williams Ranch. What's the listing price on that?
$529.
$529. So that's very affordable. That's a FHA range, no problem.
No problem.
No problem in the FHA or VA range, right? Right. Okay. So a great home, be a great first home.
Absolutely.
Great for anyone in the military who wants a little elbow room. Get a good bang for your buck. And is that so? 92057. Is that more east? Help me out with that one.
It's right off the 76.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, right off the 76. So it's close to Camp Pendleton. So it'd be great for a military family. And if you own a boat or an RV, it's got a huge pad on the side. It's great place.
Okay, Michael. How would someone get in touch with you if they wanted to get a private tour of this property?
They can call me at 760-692-5950. Or they can just visit my website at michaelgaddis.com.
Great stuff from Michael Gaddis. Jeff Campbell, your listing of the week.
Michael, I see your half acre and raise you a 1/4 acre. Because this 3/4 acre property, it's in Alpine. 15, 20 years ago, I could have lived virtually anywhere in the county and bought a home virtually anywhere, and I chose Alpine. And I think that you would also. Because this property, as a matter of fact, it is so serene in the backyard with the free-hanging stained glass panels around the covered patio, right underneath the mulberry tree, and a flat, almost 3/4 of an acre. I want buyers to come out before they buy it and have a glass of wine and just sit and listen to the solitude. Peace. Solitude, because I don't want you to work and live in the same place. I want you to come home and escape.
Yep.
And I want you to escape to Alpine. This one story, which outsells 2 stories, 2-to-1 in 91901, is a prized single level that has been rebuilt 10 years ago with a concrete tile roof, and this 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just over 1,800 square feet, offered at $539,000, is available to be seen on Sunday. I'm going to have the home right around the corner from this open, and I can walk you over. If my 2-story doesn't work for you, I'll show you this 1-story. This is something you're going to fall in love with. Every day you drive home from work, it's going to feel like an escape.
Sanctuary, as you once called Alpine.
it is a sanctuary. The entire town is a sanctuary. When you get off the freeway, everything goes away.
So it's a 3.2, 1,800 plus, 3/4 of an acre, flat land at $539 asking.
$539. You can reach me at 800-782-5510 or see me online at SanDiegoHomeBuys.com. And I'd love to bring you out here and have you have a glass of wine and just sit and listen to the solitude.
And it's open today, right? If someone calls you today, they can come
you
see
betcha.
it today.
You betcha.
Okay, great stuff. From Jeff Campbell. That's 2 listings, very affordable. So we were just talking about affordability earlier. There's 2 very affordable listings with a lot of house there too, not just like a little strip of something. Glenn, listing of the week.
So some people want land, but some people want charming craftsmen. And that's exactly what I have. So it's 4469 Cherokee. It's a charming, updated, Normal Heights original craftsman. So normally in that neighborhood, they were little 2-bedroom homes. So what these guys did, it was the previous owners, but they added on a master suite on the back of the house. So it's 3 bedrooms,
Smart.
2 baths, just under 1,300 square feet, completely modernized. So you have granite, you have the hardwood, you have skylights, you have the original Craftsman mantle on the fireplace. So it has all the charm of the Craftsman with all the modern updates like a buyer would expect.
Okay.
Normal Heights is a great community. It was recently voted one of the hippest places to live. You can walk to Adams North. Have a completely cool, chill lifestyle there.
Okay. And how much is that one listed for?
So we're on a value range. We're on $549 to $599.
Wow, that sounds like a really good deal. I mean,
for everything it is. And one thing I didn't even mention is they have their whole organic garden in the backyard as well. So it's super cool.
So there's a yard.
There is a yard.
That's good to know.
It's a little yard, but it's enough to get a full organic,
get an organic garden,
producing garden for you there.
Wow, again, very affordable here. I mean, we're talking about, FHA financing range on all of these homes that we're talking about, from north in Oceanside to east in Alpine to central in Normal Heights. So if you question the affordability of the market, I don't know what to tell you. Just look at our listings of the week. Great stuff, Glenn. Appreciate it. Jarrett.
So I see your glass of wine and I raise you a vineyard. So we have a 72-home subdivision being sold by Pacifica Companies right now out in East County. It's off Wildcat Canyon Road. But I tell you, you've got to go out and see this particular house or these houses. The view from that mountain off of Wildcat Canyon, you can see Mexico, Point Loma. You can see all the way up to Camp Pendleton. It's an amazing community. And we've got the listing. We just sold out of the first phase. We're opening second phase. And the houses range anywhere from 3,000 to just over 4,000 square feet. Casita optional. The upgrades are incredible. They're including a lot of them in the purchase price, just under $1 million. And like I said, the views are absolutely amazing. It has a vineyard on site, horse trails. The homes are beautiful. RV parking.
New? This is new construction?
Brand new construction, and it's a project that the owner of Pacific has been working on for just under 20 years. And the mapping, all the entitlements, everything that he's gone through, this is his baby. And you can see the touches that he's doing to this property. This is his baby.
That's cool, and I know you guys work with them quite a bit and are talking about this community a lot for them. How would someone find out more about these properties?
Trevi Hills is the name of the community. Go to ruthpugh.com or call us at 858-467-4727, and we'd be happy to direct you to the site.
Okay, that's awesome. Sounds good. And I've actually spent a lot of time on Wildcat Canyon Road lately myself, going to
Gambler.
Ramona. No, I haven't been to a casino in a long time, actually. Luckily for the casinos. Okay, so that's it. So we're going to wait for Eric Levitt to tally up the scores. We're going to find out who won today's real estate debate. I do want to take this time to say a big thank you to all of our guests and our contestants. Michael Gaddis with michaelgaddis.com, two-time red champion. Appreciate you being here, Michael.
No, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Jeff Campbell from Jeff Campbell & Associates, SanDiegoHomeBuys.net. Jeff, thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
I like the hat, too, by the way. I didn't say that. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's a new one-day look.
And I forgot to say happy birthday on the air. I said it off the air, but
I appreciate it.
Happy birthday to you,
brother. Made another one.
Yes, absolutely. Glenn Douillet, thank you for coming. Your first time on the show. You did well, sir.
Well, thanks for having me. I wanted to throw out a couple things while Eric is tallying the scores. I have a new buyer who's looking for a lender. So maybe
I have freedom on the Oceanside.
We could grease some wheels.
I think we should. Yeah, we can make some business happen. I think we definitely have places for them to buy that are affordable and all that. So,
but one thing I'd like to throw out too, just because I'm on the air, my phone number is 619-952-5934.
Okay, that's right. Sorry about that. I forgot to give out your number for the Normal Heights property. And of course, Jarrett Pugh on short notice. Thank you for coming in today.
Absolutely.
Man.
Thank you so much for having us.
I really appreciate that and all the good work you guys are doing with the Dallas Pugh Foundation. Congratulations on that, man.
Thank you very much, you guys.
Okay, Eric, you ready to step up and tell us who won today's show?
Yeah,
okay.
Actually, I would like to tell you. But I also want to say before I get started is the last segment with the 10-point max that you have to. That's a tough.
Yeah.
These guys are really good.
I know.
They can pitch. So I didn't really know how to do it. So I just kind of divvied it up. And if I could give half points, I would because I think everybody did awesome.
Okay.
But our winner is going to be Michael Gaddis.
Michael Gaddis
pulls it out with 19 total points.
Win. All right, Eric, thank you so much for judging today's debate. Really,
it was my pleasure. It was fun. Thanks for having me.
Great stuff. Michael, you're a 3-time champion now. Well done, sir. From MichaelGaddis.com. We'll be getting a picture with you and the trophy here in just a second. Stick around for Talking Money with Mr. C right here on AM 760 KFMB.